So, this video is going to be different. Normally when I do a vlog, it's pertaining to discussing props or updates. And this one is going to be different. It's going to be similar to the second video I did. It was like frequent questions that get asked. And my hands are covered in paint because I'm working on a prop right now. That's another thing. This is going to be more of a not discussion video, but more of like a story time. But before we get to that, I want to say that about 3 videos ago in my updates and Star Wars video, I said I wasn't sure when I'd be able to work on props or if I'll be able to do it. And luckily, in my last video, the steampunk hat video, you guys saw that I was in the garage and I was working. So I got materials. I got plenty of materials to last me, depending on how fast I work and how much I use. It's projected to last me 2 months. But knowing me and my excessiveness, it's probably going to last me maybe 3 weeks. It's okay. So on my Instagram, I've been revealing a prop as well. So people are kind of excited about that. I've got a lot of people that are really happy to see me working again and being productive during the whole COVID-19 stuff. Hopefully I can get this done before then. And I'm working on 2 props at the same time. One is for me and one is for one is a surprise that I'm not going to spoil yet, and it's also for somebody else. But you'll see in the next video, which will be uploaded after everything is done. I'm not going to upload it before I give the surprise because that'll ruin it. When I mean surprise, it's because it's for somebody else and they follow me. So if they see the post, then I'm screwed. So I'm going to post it after I give it to them. So that's going to be cool. Anyways, this video, although I am working on the prop right now, it's right in front of me. That's why there's a lamp right here. This video is going to be more of a story time. I think I said that already. Can't remember. I've been trying to record this like 8 times already. But I get asked a question a lot, and that question normally pops up when I bring in a prop to let's say like a classroom or an art class, because you can see I mess around in an art room. Look at 45 seconds of being an idiot. Or I do it in an art show, or people just see my Instagram. Basically, whenever someone sees a prop, they ask me about it. And majority of the questions pertain to the prop immediately. Like, how long did it take you to make this? How much did you... I'm surprised a lot of people are actually intuitive about it. Because most people are like, can I have it or can I put it on? In some cases, like the Infinity Gauntlet, most people ask me, can I put it on? And the first thing to do is either this or this. Because that's just go-to. I mean, come on. But, I have had a few that ask me what's it made out of, or God, what's another good one? Another question I got was, how much did it cost to make it? I think I said that already. But that's what I'm intrigued about. There's people that are actually interested in some of the stuff that I build and don't just shrug it off and go, yeah, pretty cool. Which it boosts my enthusiasm. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I'm surprised a lot of people actually are intrigued. But there's a question that always gets asked by somebody at some point, and that is, why do you do this? Why do you build things? Why do you do what you do? And the go-to answer I have is because I want to. It's what I enjoy doing. And it's not necessarily a lie, but at the same time, it's kind of a scapegoat at this point. I just hide behind the answer, and because when I say that, there is a long story and a long line list, maybe 20 minutes. I'm probably just exaggerating, but there's a story behind why I do what I do, and I don't tell it because most of the time I don't think people deserve to hear it, or they don't want to sit and hear it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I think I said this already. I don't know if I'm still working on this prop and I lose track. It's okay, but the go-to response I have is because I want to, and it's not a lie. It's a very short and abridged version, and at some point you got to tell the whole truth. So I figured I could do it now because I have plenty of time and plenty of stuff to talk about as is. Back in 2015 and 2014, I lost 4 people and a dog within a year and a half. So yeah, that was wonderful. It hit me hard, mainly because it was majority of family and friends that I've grown up around my entire life, obviously, at that point. And it was difficult, but I poured all my problems into Minecraft, or I would sit and build and become like an architect, and I'd be pretty good, but I wasn't really good then. Um, but it was just for months I would just sit and pour myself into video games, and during school, I was failing majority of my classes. Like sixth grade, I had 9 classes for some reason. My middle school was so screwed up. I had 9 classes, and out of those classes, majority of the quarters, because they had a system set up back then where you could turn in any of your late work or up until the day of the end of the quarter. The high school I'm at now is you have like 3 days to turn in late work, and then it's not accepted. So it's got a lot. It had a lot more incentive now than they do at my old middle school. So I slacked off, didn't do any of my work, and my GPA was pretty much floating between 0 to 1.5. Yeah, depending on if I failed a test or if I was most of the time, the only reason why my GPA was above a 1.0 was because my art class was an A, solid A. Yeah. So that's nice. It was bad. And it didn't get any better because my parents got on my tail about it, which is completely normal. Obviously, if your kid's failing, you want to get them up and get them ready. But I already didn't have a lot of friends because I switched schools, and I was already dealing with a lot of social anxiety about it because I didn't know anybody there. At least at halfway through the year, I switched schools. So the school I'm talking about now, where I was failing, that's where I was having a tough time. And the really irritating thing is, before I switched, I had straight A's. I had straight A's, and I had a lot of friends because I went to elementary school with them, which sucked. But when I swapped schools and got thrown into a new environment with a lot more work and a lot more stress, it didn't work out well, and I didn't have a lot of coping mechanisms. And then when I lost everybody, it got so much worse. It wasn't even funny. That summer of like 2015, where I decided that I think it was the summer. Yeah, the summer of 2015, I decided that I was gonna make stuff. I don't know why. It's just I got so bored of sitting on Minecraft and getting up every day and just playing video games and not talking to anybody and not having a lot of friends and just generally just feeling being a very lonely person. And I started watching Odin Makes and DIY Prop Shop and Hacksmith and all those guys. And I just sat and thought about, wow, I want that. And I look up the stuff that they made, and you could buy some of this stuff, but it was really expensive. Like if you wanted a metal lightsaber, Ultra Sabers makes one for like 180, which to a kid is a lot of money. To somebody who has a job, still a bit of money, but it's not as bad as not having one and not experiencing having more than $500 in your pocket at a time. I have yet to experience that. Why am I saying it? Anyways, it's just back then it seemed like a lot of money to me, and it still is a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, but I thought about making stuff, and I didn't really have anything else to do. I would just sit at my grandmother's store, help her out, and that would be it. None of my friends would call me. None of them would text me or talk to me in general. It was all just, hey, see you when school starts. I'm like, but we can plan. No, just see when school starts. See you. I'm like, okay. So I didn't do anything. And based on that, I just decided to pour all my loneliness and my just general sense of existing into building stuff, because when I was doing it at the same time I was doing YouTube, I was recording videos every day, and I was just pouring all myself into it because I felt that if I talked to a camera and just recorded it, somebody else would see it at some point, and I wasn't alone at that point, if that makes sense. Like I was talking to the camera like somebody was there, like I'm doing now, obviously, and acting like I'm having a conversation or a discussion. But it was to try and cope with the fact that I was ridiculously alone. And the first thing that I made was a shoebox Mjolnir. And it was just because I wanted to have Thor's hammer. I really liked Marvel movies. I still do. I just stopped watching them after Endgame because Endgame is the end to me. I don't want to see any other Marvel movie after that. It's just me. But I was a huge Marvel fan, and I just kept making stuff back to back to back, and it was just because of the fact that I had nothing else to do, and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't talk to any friends. It was just, I was so cut off from all of the people that I wanted to talk to and hang out with and just be a human with, that I just resorted to making videos every single day for years. And I did that up until 2018. And you can see in the YouTube channel videos that I had a lot more people to talk to after that. I had a lot more people that I was friends with, but it was difficult. I couldn't deal with a lot. The fact that I lost so many people and I had so much loneliness and depression, and in some cases I still do. I poured all of my issues into building stuff, and I got better and better at making stuff. That's what worried me, that I was making so much stuff. I was learning from the previous mistakes, avoiding all of my problems, and just progressing in what some people consider talent, some people consider skill. I was just focusing more and more and more into that, and it eventually got into this kind of a downpour of excess objects. I had so many props that I made in the summer of 2015 and the year after that, that my room was covered in a mess of like cardboard and trash, and I lived in a garbage heap for 4 years just because I had lacked so much motivation that I couldn't bother to get up and clean or deal with any of my problems or just deal with people in general, and I just hide upstairs, build stuff, and go to sleep because I couldn't deal with the stuff that I was dealing with, that was going on at the time. And what worried people is, or worries me now actually, is because of all the stuff going on recently. I just lost a family member, I lost another pet, and I lost a couple other things. And I just recently lost, well, I talked about it in my update in Star Wars video. I lost some other stuff. Basically, 3/4 of my social life is on hold right now, which feels amazing. Even with social media, I still can't talk to my friends because we're being asked to stay inside. I can't go anywhere, which it is kind of hard, but I have to do it. And I am kind of worried about it because this prop is turning out really good, and it's mainly because I'm keeping my head quiet by sitting in front of this and working nonstop and pouring everything into it and focusing on it completely and ignoring everything else. So when I say because I want to, it's mainly because of the fact I want to keep what goes on in my head quiet, because there's a lot that it says that I don't want to hear, or there's a lot that go on that worry me or frustrate me or just keep me on edge. So it's more of a coping mechanism or a hidey hole or a safe place to make stuff. So there you go. You have my 13 minutes of explaining myself to you. Hopefully, well, I don't think anyone enjoyed this video. I doubt anyone's going to watch this video as much as my other stuff. But like and subscribe today, and make sure to click that bell icon to receive notifications for whenever we upload. And if you're on my Instagram page, please leave a heart or a like, whatever you want to call it. I have a TikTok now, but we're not going to talk about that. That has nothing to do with the props that I make. So yeah, that's it. Have a good one.